My name is Anthony Grisillo, but everyone calls me Mr. G. I've been teaching in the district 16 years, and I'm the gifted support instructor. I've actually taught at all three levels. I've taught high school classes, I've taught middle school children, and I've taught elementary school children. And it's awesome teaching elementary school kids because they're willing to do anything for you. They really value you as their teacher, and they are just curious about everything. And setting them up with a great foundation of curiosity and how to ask questions, how to critically think is a great challenge, but one that I really enjoy doing with them. In regards to winning it, it was overwhelming because they tell you everything that you're going to have to do as the winner, and it becomes a little bit daunting that maybe you don't want to win because you're going to have a lot of work ahead of you. But I had about 30 seconds to a minute of that angst of, oh my gosh, I just was chosen, I just won, how am I going to deal with this? And then they flashed my student introduction, the student who introduced me, Riley McGowan, back up on the screen because he did it via Skype because he couldn't make it out to Hershey because of the big snowstorm we had that week. And the huge grin on his face and the pride that I could see that he was part of this and that I had just been chosen made me realize that this is pretty awesome. And I feel very lucky that I can represent everybody in this area and with this honor. The lesson wasn't really complicated, but it had a lot of levels to it. I had started off using Google Earth to really show the students how what they do in their backyards is linked to the ecosystem of a finback whale. We start to go from your neighborhood to the county and talk about let's increase all of that pollution that happens. And we started to add stuff like farm runoff, industrial waste, construction site debris, pollution from cars, and they could quickly see that the water they were getting in their bottle was becoming unusable. By the time we get to the ocean, it's completely disgusting. It's brown, it's bubbly, it's got oil in it, it's revolting, and the kids realize that there's no way they would swim in that nor drink it. And I guess the big shocker is when we walk in and we went down the hallway to make it look like we were going through all those ecosystems into the largest ecosystem, going to the ocean there. Then they would see the finback whale and the ooh and ah, and I talked to them about, well, do you think this pollution hurts the whale? And a lot of the kids do think it hurts the whale, and to explain to them that no, the whale probably would survive this pollution because they're large animals, they're tough, they can handle that. But the food that the whale eats, the krill and the other small marine mammals and fish, that's going to die off, and then the whale's not going to be able to survive because it doesn't have a food supply. So I tried to show them that the life-size model of the whale I have is blown up by a fan. So I tried to show them by taking small foam core tiles, setting them on the fan piece by piece, how if a little bit of food disappears, the food that the whale needs will affect it pretty quickly. And sure enough, after just putting like 4 or 5 of those tiles on the fan, the balloon whale starts to sink, and they can see how quickly and how easily the animal will be affected. So we after I take all the tiles back off, we actually go inside the whale because the whale's huge and they all want to sit inside, and we sat inside and we talked about activities that could hurt the whale that we do, ways we could prevent that from happening. And then I asked them to come up with their own scenario of an animal that we don't seemingly have a connection with, but by our actions in our ecosystems, how we can affect them and hurt them, essentially. There's a quote floating out there, and I wish I could remember the woman who's accredited to saying it. It's good teachers show you where to look, but not what to see. And I think I really got that from my experience at Widener. Really, it's when I had some of the best teachers I've had in my higher education, in Dr. Bruce Grant and Dr. Stephen Madagasky. The two of them were just phenomenal. Going through and asking higher level questions and having the children find the answers through their experiences. And Dr. Madagasky, also espoused the same idea. And that really has shaped how I look at teaching science and really how I teach all of my classes. I don't lecture. I don't tell the kids, oh, here's where you find the answers to this. I ask questions, and then we walk together side by side trying to find those answers together, and then come up with some great conclusions on our own. The high expectations of the understanding of the material that we were learning about made me realize that you need to always have that high expectation no matter what you're teaching and what you're talking about with your own students.